in any science or engineering project or investigation is to make sure that you conduct your background research. Now, you might be wondering, why do I need to conduct this research? For an experiment or investigation, you need to research what techniques and equipment might be best for investigating your topic. Starting from scratch, it might not be the best idea. While it's fun to just start building something, you a lot of times want to make sure that you do your research so that way, well, you don't end up screwing up sometime. And again, if you do screw up, it's okay. But we want to try and minimize that. So while creativity and imagination is great, savvy investigators want to use their library and internet research to help them find the best ways to do things. You want to learn from the experience of others rather than blunder around and repeat their mistakes. This does not mean that you can't be imaginative and creative, but it just means that we want to make sure that we're basing things off of prior research and scientific knowledge. As said by Mike Kalish, a year in the lab can save you a day in the library. So, how do we start? Starting from the top. Step 1, identify the key words in the question or problem for your project. So for example here, we're going to have, how does the amount of cookies that I eat affect the amount of chin-ups I can complete? This would be a scientific method sort of question. Or we could take a look at an engineering design question where we have, how do I tune up my bicycle so that it doesn't make so many noises? That's my problem right now. So when we take a look at the scientific method question, some of your key terms that you might end up circling or identifying would be cookies, eat, and chin-ups. And this could even evaluate or go into some more terms such as sugars and digest and exercise and muscle usage. Then when we take a look at our engineering design problem, we could have bicycles and noises as some key terms that we're going to want to investigate. Then we're going to have to start completing some more background research, which is going to bring us to step 2. Brainstorm additional keywords and concepts, and use a table with question words such as why, how, who, what, when, where, to generate research questions from the keywords that you've already identified back in step 1. So for example here, some different questions that you could come up with would be, what is the difference between a series and parallel circuit? When does a plant grow the most, during the day or night? Where is the focal point of a lens? How does a Java applet work? Does a truss make a bridge stronger? Why are moths attracted to light? Which cleaning products kill the most bacteria? And then make sure to throw out irrelevant questions, because you don't need to mess with those. And notice that these are all questions that you're just brainstorming, and these are things that can be easily researched either by talking to somebody or going onto the internet or the library. So taking a look at step 3 in this background research process, we're going to have, add to your background research plan a list of mathematical formulas or equations, if any, that you'll need to describe the results of your experiment. So if you're trying to do an experiment on how to create the fastest car, you're going to need to have the speed formula. You should also plan to do background research on the history of similar experience or inventions, because this will start to give you an idea as to what other scientists and researchers and engineers have found out in the past. Network with other people with more experience than yourself, your mentors, your parents, your teachers, your peers. Ask them, what science concept should I study to better understand my science fair project or whatever other project that you're working on? What areas of science are covered in my project? Better yet, ask for even more specific questions. Again, asking questions. Yes, it is okay to do it, and it's encouraged. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about some different research tips, especially for when you're online. So when you're looking online for different sources, you're going to want to stick to the websites and sources that have the endings such as .edu, .gov, .us, .mil, which is a military site, and different journals. These sources tend to have less bias, which means that it's not a particular group or person trying to sway others to their opinion, but rather more specific facts and research-based studies. Be wary of .coms and .orgs. Now, again, I say be wary of these because it doesn't necessarily mean that they can't be used, but you just have to be wary and understand that all the information that is on them is not necessarily going to be the information that is 100% factual. And again, ask questions. Yes, it is okay. So, let's get informed. Do your background research today.